We're here with Seth Brody from Brody Solutions, an accounting firm in the Del Sur area. Seth, can you tell us a little bit about your firm and what you offer to the residents of the area?
Sure. Yeah. So I'm a relatively new firm, just kind of officially launched very end of last year. It kind of took off very quickly from there. So I've been busy, but what I'm doing is trying to focus on effective working solutions. Kind of I don't want to say a specialty, and I can go on and on about that, but my forte, I think, has been young people starting a new business. Just people that have never had the help before.
Right.
And that's really a fun time of business, I think, for me, to help others out, because there's a lot of just little loose ends all the time and not sure what to do. But yeah, I mean, I take pride in trying to be different than the typical accounting firm or what you might see out there, or if the trends nowadays are to fire clients who don't pay X, and the ones that are too much of a headache just because they just have questions. And just billing clients by the hour, by the minute is just nonsense to me. So I'm trying to buck the trend and trying to be different. Kind of like my thing is like no BS accounting. So I'll tell you the honest truth. If you have no cash, we can't spend any money. I don't say yes just because I'm going to say yes and I want to make a quick buck on something. I will find the answer. There's someone else that can, if it's something very specific. So I'm just trying to be honest, but trying to provide a financial therapist, a liaison, just a helpful support to not have you worry so much about all the pennies and the numbers and all that mess that typically happens when someone who's not an accountant starts playing around with it all. So
I needed you a few years ago when I started my business. That was Seth, what's your background? How did you get into accounting? What drew you to that?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, very, very quickly, my original degree was actually in kinesiology from San Diego State. So exercise science was my passion. Racquetball has been a big thing in my life. My dad taught me when I was a little kid, and it's a dying or dead sport, but I always just wanted to stay in sports. And then I eventually met my girlfriend at the time, or now my wife, and her dad's a CPA. And like towards the end of my time at State, we started talking about CPA and accounting, and then I just like picked up like Accounting for Dummies, read it like overnight, and then just was like, oh, this is what I should do. So I went back to school, get my master's in accounting and finance, and then just kind of been doing that for the last 11, 12 years, I guess.
What led you to open your own business and not join one of the big firms?
Yeah, so I had that kind of unorthodox way into accounting, because I didn't do the undergrad like a lot of my accounting friends now. I never went to the big four, but I kind of knew that I was always meant to work for myself. Not that I'm not a team player, or I can't take direction, but I have a very like, okay, this is what I think we should do. I like this approach. And I think a lot of it was kind of waiting for the right time. And recently, over the past year or two, it just kind of felt, I think I'm at that point. I could do this by myself. I want to be involved in every single aspect of running an accounting firm, the business, from hand holding the clients, from the sales part, which is hard for me. I'm quite shy and introverted. But doing a lot of that is kind of where I wanted to see myself, and don't tell my father-in-law, but kind of mimicking his, he's built a great life for himself and his family, and I just wanted to, and he's worked for himself for 30, 40 years. So I kind of wanted to emulate that and reach that level one day.
What do your clients love most about working with you and your company?
Uh, I would say I think it's I'm pretty quick to communicate back. I'm available for them at all times, so I'm reliable. I'm dependable. I like to say I shoot it straight. If cash is tight, here's what I believe we should pay, what we should do. I'm, I like to think I'm trustworthy. When I say I'll do something, I'll get it done for them. So yeah, I mean, I think I try to provide a more than accounting, not just here's the numbers, blah blah blah, but how can we tell a story and a narrative from the numbers of how your business is doing.
How do prospective clients get in touch with you?
Yeah, I mean, I have a website at getbrodysolutions.com. I'm Intuit Pro Advisor via QuickBooks, so there's like a public profile somewhere. And I'm also part of like some networking groups to try and reach out kind of that way.
Right.
Yeah, I'm trying to work on a little bit more marketing, some ad space and website type stuff.
Right.
But hopefully not.
Is there a phone number they can reach you at?
Yeah, and my office number is 858-356-2719 or Seth at getbrodysolutions.com.
Great.
Yeah.
Seth, one more question before we wrap it up. What drew you to this area, to the Delcer area?
Yeah, so my wife and I moved here in I think the end of maybe the fall of 2016. Our place was just being built. And I think what happened was we were in an argument at the time, and she went out with her mom, and they were driving around and found homes for sale or something like that, and brought me back the next day, and it was just kind of funny. And we signed up or however it worked at the time with these new constructions, and we just loved it ever since being in this area.
Yeah.
We have a great little neighborhood. We kind of live in like a little loop, and everyone's got little kids, and we just love the area. The kids go to the local school. So it's, being in this community is great because everyone's super helpful, super kind. And it's great to kind of keep that in the community.
Well, Seth, thank you very much for taking the time to join us today, and look forward to working with you in the future.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time.